Hello, Cyber here, and we're going to go over some Linux fundamentals, some basic Linux commands to get you started on your cybersecurity career. So, I'm currently in Kali Linux, but this would work in pretty much any Linux distro or distribution. So, you want to open your terminal. You can either go here, or you can open a folder or directory and right click and hit open terminal here. However you want to get to the terminal, it doesn't really matter where we're at, and you can go to the terminal, it's in here somewhere, search it. But I usually just click up here on, I'm in Kali 2020.2, I believe. Okay, so we're in the terminal, and the first command is echo, 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 echo. Alright, so we're going to say echo hello, and voila, hello shows up. I know it's not super impressive, but we can take this and we can put it in a file. So, and we'll look at this later. So we're just going to echo hello world and put it in hello world.txt. And it's not here because it was piped into, well, not piped, but it was put into hello world.txt. Okay, so the next command we're going to do is ls, which I like to think of as list. And it just lists where we're at. List the directories in this directory. So like if we're in the desktop, then it would list everything that's on the desktop. Well, except for the trash can and the file system. But it lists and the home directory. But you get the point. It lists directories in this directory. There are some exceptions, but it's pretty much what it does. And if we do cd again, which I'll go ahead and cover now, is change directory. So cd into workspace, and since there's nothing similar, there's no other, well, I'll back up some. Since there's no other work directory, we don't even have to type out the whole thing. Thankfully, Linux can complete it for us. We just hit the tab key and it completes work and into workspace. And so we'll get into workspace and we'll list the files again. And that's what's in the files, or in the directory. I'll probably do this video again and kind of in the future and kind of fix some of the errors or stuttering or dead air. But I just wanted to do this real quick video to kind of cover the fundamentals. Okay, so we learned list, we learned change directory, kind of. So what we're going to learn about next is the man pages or manual pages. Now this works on most commands. So like if we type in man and then type in cd, which is change directory, what we used earlier. Oh, no manual entry for change directory. Well, that proves to you that sometimes it doesn't always work. But I know it works for lists, so let's type in man ls, and we'll get all the options for list, the list command. We'll get a synopsis, which is basically the example of how to use it. We use ls, then we use any options, which the options are listed down here, and then we say a file or directory if we want to. Again, these are all optional, but Let's see. So let's create an example real quick. Let's use A. Do not ignore entries starting with a period. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the workspace directory. I'm going to create a document. I'm going to put a period, and then I'm going to type hidden file here, and you can type whatever you want, just as long as the period is there. And you see it vanished, but it's actually here. It's just hidden. So if we go back in the terminal and type in ls, it's still not showing up because again it's hidden. But going back to the man page, we see we can choose not to ignore entries starting with a period with that command. So go to list or ls, then we use a flag or tick, or there's it's described different ways, but this dash, a lot of people say flag, a lot of people say tick, a lot of people say tack. However you want to say it, it's perfectly fine. And voila, we see the hidden file is indeed there. And now we're going to learn cat or concatenate. And rather than type the whole thing out, again, I'm going to hit tab to auto finish it. And we're going to see what's in that file. Nothing, apparently, because I forgot to put something in that file. So rather than do that, let's create another document. This one won't be hidden. So create hi there. And we're going to say, hello world, I am the contents of this file. And we're going to save that. I saved it with Control S. But you can go up here and manually go to File and Save. We're going to exit that. And then we're going to ls to see that it's definitely there. And then we're going to type in cat for concatenate. And then hi there. And we're going to see the contents of the file. Hello world, I am the contents of the file. And just to kind of verify, I'm going to pull it up again to ensure that it matches. And that is how to use concatenate. Okay, so I like that file quite a bit. I'm going to create, I like it so much that I want to make a copy of it. So I'm going to type in CP for copy, and I'm going to type the file name, and then I'm going to type another file name. Hi there too. Electric Boogaloo. Oop, not Googaloo. Boogaloo. And we're going to type in ls again for list. And it is there. And we're going to concatenate the second file. Hi there too. And again, I'm not going to type the whole thing. I'm just going to hit tab to autocomplete. And there it is. There's the same contents as the previous file. And just to prove that, I'm going to once again concatenate that file to ensure that yes, it was, the whole thing was copied correctly. Okay, so I've created a mess here. It's starting to get unruly, and there's just too much stuff. And you'll, on your cybersecurity career, you'll likely run into a terminal that's overloaded with a bunch of junk, or maybe you concatenated a big file, and there's just garbage everywhere. Well, we're going to clear all that. And the easiest way to do that is to type clear. And then hit enter. And it's all gone. And while we're on that subject, I just accidentally used the mouse scroll wheel. But we're going to reuse a command that we just fired off. And to do that, rather than typing the whole thing again, we're going to use the up arrow. And there's clear. Use the up arrow again. And there's cat. Hi there. And now we're going to use the up arrow and go to clear. And clear it again. Okay, so I'm going to use ls to list the files in this directory again. You can see our directory right here, by the way. And I am going to... I like hi there so much. I love it. I'm going to... In fact, I love it so much, I'm going to move it to the desktop. And so we're going to learn about two new things, all in one go. I'm going to type in mv for move, and then the file name. And then here's a tricky thing. It took me a while to kind of wrap my head around it. I don't know why, but we're going to use a relative path. So rather than type out, like if you use Windows, you know, C Windows boo boo something. I don't know. It's just a path. That's an absolute path. Now for a regular path, or not a regular path, a relative path, we would use dot dot or dot. And so an example would be change directory. I want to go to the desktop. And currently we're in the workspace directory in the desktop. So if I type dot dot, I would go up one. And so we can use ls to ensure that we are on the desktop. And there's where we were. Now that isn't too bad, but it is troublesome when you get into... When you have to... You don't have to, but when you need to quickly move from deep in a directory to deep in another directory, then you get into dot 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 slash another directory. And then it gets kind of confusing. But all in all, it's not too bad with this, with the period, two dots. But we're going to go back in workspace, and we're going to use that move command that I was just talking about, mv, and we're going to type in hi there, that file that I love so much, and we're going to move it to the desktop, in fact. So I'm going to type in, a single dot, by the way, is the current directory. And you would use that often when you're executing binaries and stuff in that directory, which we'll do in the future. But for now, I'm going to type dot / dot dot for the previous directory. And then I am going to... In fact, I like the contents of hi there a lot, but I think the name could use improvement. So we're going to type in hi there, and the name itself is fine, but let's just give it a file format. So we'll type in .txt for a text document. And we're going to hit ls, and it's gone. So it's somewhere else. We're going to use change directory to go up one more. And we're going to use ls to see what's on the desktop. And there it is. There's hi there.txt. We can use cat or concatenate to ensure that it's got the same contents. Oh, no such file or directory. Well, because we didn't include the .txt. And you know what? I'm not gonna type out the whole thing. I'm gonna use tab again. There we go. Hi there.txt. And it does appear to have the same contents as it did before. Okay, so what have we covered so far? We've covered list to death. We've covered change directory. We've covered relative paths. We've covered clear. We've covered move. We've covered copying. We've covered man pages. We've covered flags, which again is just options. So, like LSA shows that. Oh, let's go into change directory into workspace. LS, and then LSA would show us that hidden file again. We're going to clear that. And what else have we covered? I think that's it for right now. I'm tired of the hi there to electric boogaloo. I like hi there just regular now with the .txt extension. So I'm going to remove hi there to. And to remove, we type rm. And then hi there. Now that the other file is gone, we don't have a conflict when we're trying to complete hi there. So now that there's only one hi there da 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 da, we can autocomplete this without any issues. But if we were to have a hi there file, then we would have to go up until hi there 2, and then it would autocomplete. And I'll show you an example of that in just 1 second. So we'll remove hi there 2, electric boogaloo. We'll use ls to list the files in the directory, and that includes directories in the directory as well. And it's gone. Okay, so let's create a file from the terminal. So we're going to type touch to quickly create a file. And we're going to name the file touchja.txt. Okay, and hit ls to see that it was indeed created. Currently it's empty, but the file is there. And we're going to create another file. Touchja to gross file name .txt. And we're going to hit ls to list the files inside. And you can see both files are there. Right, so then we're going to remove touchja gross file name. So remove touch, and we hit the tab, and we're at a crossroads. It's, as you can see, it just typed in touchja. Well, that doesn't match touchja.txt or touchja gross file name.txt. So why did it do that? Well, like we mentioned previously, the reason it doesn't complete all the way is because we have the first part of both file names kind of collide in a way. So unless we add a hyphen or a period, it's not going to complete anymore. We can hit tab a couple more times. Well, it did. It sometimes wouldn't do that. I guess the new terminal is kind of does something weird. I don't know, but Normally it wouldn't do that. So like if we go back to touch you, so just ignore whatever just happened 5 seconds ago. But so if we put in touched you dot, then it would complete the .txt. If we put in touched you hyphen, then it would complete to the ugrux file name .txt. So touched you, then we're at a crossroads again. Either a hyphen or a period would allow us to complete it. We're going to use a hyphen. And again, we're going to delete this file with rm or remove. I hit tab again, hit enter, and hit ls, or enter ls to verify that it is indeed gone. It's gone. Now, I'm going to remove touched you because I don't like the file name. It's kind of a gross file name. And as you can see, when we hit tab, I'll do it again. I entered touch, and then hit tab, and it auto-completes because we don't have that conflict anymore. So now that that's removed, we're going to clear all this mess. And we're going to make a directory. As you can see, there's no directory in here, but this file that I have here, I want to put it in another directory. So we're going to type in mkdir for make directory. Oh, missing operand. Because unlike ls, we need an option. Just like if we were to type in touch, it'd say missing file operand because we need to enter some sort of file name or some sort of option. And if we were to type in make direct -- help or flag help, then we would get some options, and it would say make directory, and then there's optional options, which are all down here, but we gotta have a directory name. We just gotta, not optional. And to verify that with the touch command used to make files, we can see that there's touch, and then there's optional options, which are in these brackets, which are all down here. But we gotta have a file name. You just gotta. You can't create something out of nothing. Okay, so we're going to, again, make the directory, except for this time we're going to supply a name. Cool directory. We're going to use ls. Cool directory is indeed there. And you can tell it's a kind of a different color than this one. So now we can, while we can't change directory into this file, I don't know why it's not auto-completing. But anyways, see, we can't change directory into this file name because it's not a directory. But we can change directories into this cool directory. And now we're in the cool directory. Now we're going to create another file. Cool file.txt. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna name this .db. .cool. And you can see it is indeed there. It doesn't matter the extension that you put in on the file. You can name it whatever you want, or you can do like we initially did and not have a extension. So now I kind of don't like where it's at. So again, I'm going to move the cool file.cool, and I'm just going to move it up one. I'm not going to rename it by putting in cool file.cool2 or something like that. I'm just going to move it up one. I think it's perfectly fine the way it is. We use ls, it's not there. We're going to use the relative path to go up one. And there it is, coolfile.cool. If you use CAT and type it in, nothing in the file. But why don't we put something in the file? I'm going to clear this. And now I'm going to use... There are many text editors that you can access with the terminal. Some you need to install, but others come with it. Like I'm going to use Nano. Because I think Nano is a lot easier than what some other people use, which is Vim. Again, I'm going to autocomplete the name. Well, didn't autocomplete it. Oh, because there's a conflict between the cool directory and cool file. So I'm going to type in file and then autocomplete it. And now we're in Nano. So it's kind of intimidating, but let's go ahead and just type some stuff. Hello, cool file. I like cool files because I feel cool. This is utter nonsense. Okay, great. So, what does all this mean? Do I have to enter a caret? What? How do I do this? So the caret is essentially just hitting control. So for the caret X, it's going to be control X. So we're going to hold down control and then hit X. Now it's going to say, ask you if you want to save it. We're going to put in Y. Then it's going to ask you for the file name to write. We've already chosen this, so it's auto-entered. And we're going to hit enter. And so it's still there. We're going to concatenate it, see if what we wrote is actually in there. And yep, it's in there. Now we're going to put some more stuff in there. Let's put some more stuff in there. So I'm going to use echo like we did before, and I'm going to put the words hello world in there. Okay, hello world coolfile.cool. Great. Now let's use cat or concatenate to see what's in the file. What's in the box? Wait, what? Hello world? But I thought it was supposed to be hello cool file blah blah blah. Well, the reason it does that was kind of a dramatic pause, overly dramatic, but the reason it does that is because this doesn't append to the file. It clears the file and just writes hello world. So if we were to write hello world, well, that's a bad example. If we were to write xampp is a pain, well, that's not true either. Let me not type that. JavaScript is a pain is a truth. And then put that in coolfile.cool. Then I'm going to use the up arrow twice. I don't have to enter the command again. And then JavaScript is a pain. But I want to append to that. I think xampp is a pain. Not actually, but for this example, sure. So I'm going to type in echo. Xampp is a pain. Then rather than just one, what's that, a less than sign? One symbol. It's getting late. I'm going to use two. So that's going to append to cool file. Oh, not the cool file. Coolfile.cool. And let's see if that actually worked. And it did. So now we have JavaScript is a pain. Or is pain. JavaScript is pain. All base belong to us. Xampp is pain as well. So What now? What now? What now? It's getting so late that I've forgotten who I am, even though it literally tells me in the terminal. But let's say you forgot where you are. Or you don't know about this, but... Or you may know about this and just are viewing this video as a refresher, but just trust me. Who am I does come in handy when you don't know who you are. So we're going to type in who am I. And we're going to get Ghost Pepper. Now, why would you need to use this again if for some reason you don't know this information right here? Which, when you're hacking into systems, you might not know who this is or who you are acting as. Like, you may type in who am I, and if you've hacked into a web server, it would say, rather than Ghost Pepper, it would say www-data or something like that. So, that I think is going to be it for this video. It's 31 minutes long, so hopefully this was useful. I'll probably go over it again sometime in the future and kind of eliminate the problems I had. But hopefully it's useful to you. In the next video, we'll probably cover some more commands. That's it. Fight by. Yeah, that'll work. Fight by. Fight buyer. That won't work. Fight bit by.
File's done. Goodbye.